Hello everyone, we're back. Let's do some more math. Math, not meth. It'll get you to high either way, so hey, here we are. Okay, so this is a topic that keeps coming into my DMs. So I'm going to address it one more time. So we are going to go into adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing polynomials. All right. Hey, Robert. How are you? Great live today. Robert had his first live today. It was awesome. Schooled up on the likes. Loved it. All right. So let's get started. So we have 3x squared minus 4x minus 1 plus 8x squared minus x plus 6. Okay, excuse me. Get this cord out the way. All right. So when you are adding and subtracting, and this is the part that gets a lot of people, when you get any of these problems, take a look in between the parentheses. That's what's telling you what you're doing with your stuff, okay, with your polynomials. Now, you want to put this from the highest degree and put it in descending order. So since I want to add, I'm going to take my 3x squared and I'm going to add to its matching, which is this 8x squared. Now, when I combine the two, you don't do anything with the exponents except to use it as a matching. The only thing that's really going to be doing the combination is your leading coefficients. So your 3 and your 8. So that right away gives me 11. And then it'll be 11x squared. Okay? So when you're adding and subtracting, you're basically trying to do a matching game. You're finding your like terms. Now, after you combine one time, look at your answer choices when you're doing the GED, ASVAB, any kind of assessment. If you notice that there is no other 11, there's only one 11x squared, that's your answer. Bubble it, click it, move on, okay? You don't have to let me finish it. No, as the adults, you guys always, we were trained to finish things. But when it comes to these type of assessments, you're based off of time. So once you find the key, and this is the only 11x squared, that's your answer. But say there's two of them. All right, let's move to the next one. So the next part we have is negative 4x plus negative 1x. If you don't see a number in front of your variable, when I say in front, I mean to the left of your variable, that means assume there's a 1 there. So negative 4 plus a negative 1, that gives me negative 5x. And notice after I'm done something, I cancel it out. Okay? It's not going to be a positive 5, because if you owe me $4 and for some sick and twisted reason I loaned you another $1, now you owe me $5. So it has to be negative, not positive. Okay? Now, last part, negative 1 plus 6. The signs are different. So if the signs are different, that means you're subtracting. All right, so if I have $6 and I spent 1, that means I have $5 left over. That's where the plus 5 is. Okay, so that means this is my final answer. And the reason why is because x squared, x, and the constant They're not like terms. You sat here and you combined the like terms. So that's your answer for that. All right, so let me give you another one. So 4x squared plus 2x minus 5. And we're going to add 6x cubed minus x plus 4. All right. Okay. All right. So now, as we take a look at this, what is my highest degree? What is my highest degree? Let's take a look. What is my highest degree? Put it in the chat. Let's go. What's my highest degree? My highest exponent. What is it? Take a look. Make sure you get a nice, clear, good look at it. What do we have? Okay, so we have 3. We have Pog with 3. Casey 3. Janice 3. Noka 3rd. Carol x to the 3rd. Yes, Nurse 3. Diego 3. Robert 3. Sweet Sage 3. Pollyann 3. X3. Robert R 3. Joe Beth 6x. But what's my exponent, Joe Beth? Jennifer is 3. Hey Melody, how are you? Okay, x to the 3rd. All right, awesome. So that's my highest degree. There is no other x to the 3rds up here. So that means I'm going to bring this bad boy down. So I have my 6x to the 3rd. So I don't have anything else to combine it with. Boom. Now, the next one down, because we're putting in descending order. So the next one, if I'm at the 3rd, the next one should be x to the 2nd. And we only have one of those. So that is a positive 4x squared. That's gone. But what should I get for the x's? What should I get for the x's? Put it in there. What should I get when I combine the x's? What do I get? Okay, so I got an x, I got just x, I got 1x, Carol got a negative x, I got Pog with an x, change 55 is saying 10, Noko is saying x6, okay? All we're doing is the x's, plus x, there we go. So take a look, 2x plus negative 1x. If you don't see a number there, it's a 1, okay? So 2 plus negative 1, you have $2. You spent $1. You only have $1 left. So that's why it's 1x or just x. That's combined. Lastly, negative 5 plus 4. What's negative 5 plus 4? There shouldn't be any squared. You're not doing anything with the exponents. All you're doing is the matching. You're just matching things up. Okay? All right? All we're doing is matching things up. Good. All right. Kaya saying negative 1. Tori, negative 1. Carol, negative 1. Yes. Okay, negative 5. You owe somebody $5. You paid $4. Now all you do is owe them $1. Good, Marco. Good, Pollyann. There you go, change. There you go, Janice. There it is. Okay? All right? So that's all you're doing. Now here we have x to the 3rd, x to the 2nd. We have our x raised to the 1st power. When you don't see an exponent, it's assumed to be a 1, not the x. The x can be any number, okay? We're talking about the coefficient of x is 1 and its exponent is 1. And then you have the constant of -1. That is it. Okay? So that's addition. Now, I'm going to have to say no, Layla, but if you do need some assistance with it, come and hire me to be your tutor. Because this is all I've got right now. Because I'm probably not even going to be on here this long because this is how irate I am right now. Okay? So we have 2x squared minus 3x. Because it's already pissed off because some professor told a kid, well, basically an adult, that you're too stupid to do anything. And I'm just a little perturbed right now. So I just want to teach, show what I got to show, and then shut this off. All right? But if you need assistance right here, right now, definitely reach out to me so we can might be able to do something tonight. But I need to get this off my chest while we're here, okay? I'm so sorry. Because I'm so sick and tired of people thinking they can't learn anything, and you can. So let's go. Now, take a look in between the parentheses. It's subtraction, right? So if it's subtraction, this is what screws you up all the time. Addition we can do. You have been, ever since you've been growing up, you have been trained to do addition. Hi, you got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what we do. We are not trained to do subtraction. We don't like when we take things away from babies. What do? They cry. They react. So what do? We give. When we give, we add. And that's what you learn from the very beginning. So that's why you struggle with subtraction and division. You don't like things taken away from you. Didn't think it was that deep, right? But it is, all right? So in order for us to change it into something, like, okay, you took something away from the baby and the baby is crying. Now you need to do something to shut it up. Frustrated parent, as you can tell. All right, so this is what you do. You keep the signs and everything of the first parenthesis. Okay? You change that minus sign to a plus. And then you're going to flip all the signs of the second parenthesis. So when everything is in retrospect of addition, just like how we did up here, it's easier for you to combine. So now let's take a look. If I do that, I'm going to keep. So that gives me 2x squared minus 3x plus 7. You're going to change from a minus to a plus. And then you're going to flip all the signs. So let me change all the signs to negative. So this will be a negative 5x squared. This is a negative 3x. And this is a negative 6. So now you can just find your like terms and just combine as is. So here we go. Highest degree is to the second power. So we have 2x squared minus 5x squared, right? You have $2. You want to buy something that costs $5. Guess what? You're short $3. And once you figure that part out, look at your answer choices. And if you see 2, that's negative 3x squared, okay, ignore the other two options. So now you're done with the x squares. So now you're coming here. You have negative 3x minus 3x. I know for sure if we kept it the same, you would see the negative 3x and you would see the positive 3x and you'd be like, oh, that's 0. And guess what? That 0 would be an option. But it's not. It's a negative 3x and negative 3x. You borrowed $3 from me. For some sick and twisted reason, I loaned you another $3. Guess what? You now owe me $6. So negative 3x is gone. Negative 3x is gone. All right? Hope you're seeing that. Yeah. They can't cancel out. They're not different. They have to have different signs in order to cancel out. So now we have 7 plus a negative 6. So 7 plus negative 6, I have $7. I spent 6. That means I'm walking out with a big whopping dollar. And guess what? You can't buy crap with it. Because everything is too damn high. All right? So, your answer is going to be negative 3x squared minus 6x plus 1. Okay? All right. So, how we're feeling? Let's take a look. Okay, thank you so much for the follows. Nope, can't even hit Dollar Tree anymore. I know. That was the store I used to go to. All right, awesome. Okay, nice job, guys. All right, so we're going to get all these lovely things together. So this is why we gotta take it step by step. Everybody's sitting here trying to eat a whole pizza in one bite. You're going to freaking choke. All right? So, let's try this one. So we have 7x cubed minus 9x squared minus 7x minus 8. We're going to subtract. Wow, that's a big minus sign, but here we are. 8 minus 4x squared minus 6x cubed. See if I can fit it all in there. Sort of, kind of. There we are. All right, so 7x cubed minus 9x squared minus 7x minus 8. Subtract 8 minus 4x squared minus 6x cubed. All right. First thing, we're not combining like terms yet. 1, we're taking a look in between the parentheses. It's subtraction. 2, we're going to do keep, change, flip. Okay? So we're keeping the first parenthesis. We're changing that minus to a plus, then we're flipping all the signs. Now, I know for sure the first ones you're going to get correct, but I know slightly a lot of people are going to tell me it's 1, and it's not. Why is it not? Go ahead, put it in the chat. Why is the first one not 1x to the third? Because they have to flip. You gotta flip. Yup, gotta change that. Plus, it's a negative. A negative times a negative. Yes, a negative times a negative gives a positive. It has to flip. Same signs. You have no clue. When you minus a negative, it turns positive. There you go. So here it is, Lynette. You got this. Okay, distribute that -1. Yes, a negative times a negative. Know what we're talking about? This minus sign that's right in between, you're going to have to distribute that to everything in here. So when you're subtracting, you got 7 minus the -6. When you minus a -6, it turns positive. Okay, it's definitely going to turn positive. So that's why we're going to do the keep, change, flip. So we can see that. We keep, we change that minus to a plus, then we change all the signs of the second parenthesis. So instead of a +8, it's a -8. Instead of a negative 4, it's a positive 4x squared. Instead of a negative 6x squared, it's going to be a positive 6x, cubed. I said square, I meant cubed. All right. There we go, Renee. Good. All right. So here we go. My highest degree is to the third power. So we have this 7x to the third plus this 6x to the third, which does give us 13x to the third. Do not add your exponents. When we're adding, you don't do a blessed thing to the exponent except for to match it up. Okay? Boom, that's done. Boom, that's done. The next degree is going to be our x squares. So this is a negative 9x squared. This is a positive 4x squared. You owe me $9. You paid me $4. That means you still owe me $5. So negative 9 plus 4 gives me a negative 5, and we're keeping the x squares. That's done. That's done. There we go. All right. So it's not 7. Okay. So close. Ohio, very close with the 7x. What's missing? What's missing with your 7x? Okay. What's missing with the 7x? There we go. All right, so the next one should be my x's. Not my x's. They can go suck it. Here we go. So we have a negative 7x. There's no other x's here. So since that's the only one, you have to bring not only the number, but also the signage. Okay, also the signage. So that will be a negative 7x. And remember, the sign for that x is always to the left of the number. This negative sign right here is attached to the 8. Okay, that's another thing people keep doing. So now lastly, we have our negative 8 plus our negative 8. This is not 0. There we go, brace face, negative 6, OH, negative 16. Sorry, negative 16. Kind of negative 16. Okay, careful. In order for it to be 0, one has to be negative and the other has to be positive. Think of it. If you owe me $8 and then you paid me $8, then you don't owe me any money. If you owe me $8 and for some sick and twisted reason I loan you another $8, that means you owe me $16. Okay? Okay? Because we're not multiplying, Stacy. That's why. Okay? We're not multiplying. So when you're multiplying, a negative times a negative gives you a positive. Think about it. In relationships, you got two negative people. Sure as hell should not be together. And the only thing positive that comes out is they have this child that's as sweet as pie. That's the only time. And even that's a fairy tale sometimes, right? So the only time when you have a negative plus a negative, it's going to stay negative. Right? You ever meet somebody and then their siblings negative too? You're like, that whole family is trash. I'm really digging deep. All right. All right. What did I come back to? You came back to some craziness, nursing. Nurse! What do you think I should learn for 8th grade to be in advance of others? 1, multiplication. Get that down. 2, know your perfect squares and your square roots. 3, know how the rules of integers work. If you can get those 3 things down, you can do almost any math. Let the teacher do whatever they need to do, but once you get the basic stuff down, boo-boo, you can get everything done. Okay? 8th grade, let's go. All right? And don't go into 8th grade with some foolishness like, oh, I'm a big man. No, you're not a big man. Okay? All right? Learn some math, get your grades done, get out. All right? Get your whole life together. Now, here we go. This is your final answer. All right? So do we understand? When you're adding polynomials together, all you're doing is playing the matching game. When you're subtracting polynomials together, you're going to have to do a little bit of manipulating before you can combine your like terms, because you want to make sure you're getting the correct signs, so you can make sure you get the correct answer. All right? I love you, but I'm going to say this then. Can I get the rules for the signs again? I'm going to need for you to buy my book. Signs of the rules again. Sorry, I'm on a 10 right now. Okay, boom. Okay, whole thing. When you're adding, it's right here. When you're subtracting, it's right there with examples. And then when you're multiplying, dividing, guys, when the signs are the same when you're multiplying, your answer is always going to be positive. When the signs are different, one's positive, one's negative. That's only for multiplying and dividing. Your signs will be negative. Okay? If you need this, I don't even care if I'm going to get violated. Well, maybe I do. Not that type of violated. Like a TikTok violation. Go to my profile. There's a link. Click on it and look up the Ultimate Math Notebook. This is the book that I designed. Okay? You don't see any other books like this. Even Cornell Notes don't have some of this loveliness on the side of it. This is designed for math students. Okay? And I published 2. I got 3 more books to publish. And I'm trying to do one just for Algebra 1, just one for Algebra 2, and one for Geometry. Geometry is a beast, okay? All those proofs that I have to put together. But I do it because I want you to be successful. But if you sit there in your little room and you're just like, oh, I don't think I'm ever going to learn math, shut up. Listen up and hire me as your tutor, because I can get results and I can get it quick. But if you don't want to apply yourself, don't worry about it. Stick to yourself. Okay? All right? Sweet. Let's go. All right. So I'm seeing 7.6. It should be at 11 right now. There is 548 of y'all. Start tapping. I'm not playing with y'all no more. Let's go. You want tutoring, but yet you don't want to pay for it. So right now, you're getting a lot of quality stuff. Let's go. All right, let's go. Do you cover higher level math like calculus? I don't. I don't do calculus, but my friend, he should be still in here, Robert, Main Street Tutoring. Look him up. He just started his live today. He's the go-to person that I go to. Anytime someone wants to do calculus, that's my go-to person. All right? So, yeah, I'm definitely on a 10 tonight. I'm screwed. Yeah, go ahead, Robert. Go get that. Let's go. I know. I'm trying. Respectfully, I am trying. I love you guys, but my thing is, I grow so tired of people saying they want help, but then they don't seek the help. They don't put things in action, but they want things handed to them. And when it does happen to fall into their lap, they treat it like crap, and I'm just done. But I want you to achieve your greatness. I'm getting sick and tired of you letting your insecurities get in your way. I know you were treated badly when you were in the classroom. Okay, let's go. I know, so let's go. All right? If you want me, come hire me. There are so many people, some of my friends have actually donated some money to me. Like, people donated money, not only to help me save my home, but entrusted me to use some of that money to help you for tutoring. You want to get that GED? You want to get that ASVAB? You want to pass that college algebra? Sign up. Okay? Message me. Sign up. We'll figure out costs. Good gracious. Let's go. All right. That was adding and subtracting. Now we're going to go into multiplying. All right. Multiplying, you probably will see it on the test like this. I was like, I never want the best out of people ever in my life so badly. Jeez. Okay. So you have x plus 4. And you'll see it on the test something like this. They'll always talk about some kind of pin for chicken farm or acreages on whatever they want to call it. They just want to say, what is the area? Okay, that's what they always put this as. What is the area? Basically, what you're doing is you're multiplying your two binomials together. And you can multiply them one of two ways. All right? One of two ways. So it could be like this. You got your x plus 4. And you got your 5x minus 2. Okay? X plus 4. Yes. So you can do one of two ways. One can be FOIL. So when we do FOIL, we're doing the distributive property. That's basically it. Everyone gets so caught up with which one's the first, which one's the outer. Stop. You take the first term of the first parenthesis, because we're reading from left to right. So the first term of the first parenthesis, all you're doing is distributing to everything in the second parenthesis. That's all we're doing. Don't even worry about first, outer, inner, left. Just take the first term and multiply it to everything in the second parenthesis. So this is when you do something to the exponents. When you multiply, you add the exponents. So x times 5x. That gives me 5x squared. Okay. All right. 5x squared. Good. I'm seeing some 5x's there. Okay. The reason why this x has an exponent of 1. This x has an exponent of 1. 1 plus 1 gives me 2. All right. Not to insult your intelligence, but here we go. All right. Now, we got our x times the negative 2. That minus sign is acting as a negative for that 2. So x times negative 2x gives me negative 2x. All right. So after we're done that, we're going to the 4. The 4 is the second term in that first parenthesis. And we're going to distribute that to everything in that second parenthesis. So we have 4 times 5x. 4 times 5, that gives me a positive 20x. Now, 4 times negative 2, signs are different. So that means my answer is going to be negative. And 4 times 2 gives me 8. All right, got it? Good. All right, awesome. So, here we go. In the middle, and this goes for each and every time. In the middle, that's where your like terms are. You don't have to go searching all over the place, because once you do your distribution, nice and easy flowing, your middle terms will be your like terms. So we have negative 2 plus 20. Here we can think of it this way. You have $20. You spent 2. that means you're still walking out with $18. Okay, so 18x, and since it's positive, we're putting a plus sign in front of that 18x. So now you bring down your minus 8. Now you bring down your 5x squared. Here you have an x squared, you have an x, you have a constant. Boom. That's your final answer. That is going to represent your area of this pin or whatever they want to say. Okay? So, you're probably saying, hey, but Audrey, I'm doing the ASVAB. This is not only ASVAB. Yes, it is. Just because I'm not sitting here talking about, well, this sergeant was doing this with this private, and then this private was told to do blah, 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 blah. That's the story. They don't care about the story. They care about, did you pick A, B, C, or D? And if all of a sudden they give you a picture and it says area with a question mark in there, you just multiply it. Okay? Same thing with GED. Only in crazy math world is when you got little Johnny buying 100 watermelons. What the hell are you doing with all those watermelons? Are you selling it? Are you sneaking it under the border? What are you doing? So, anyway. Let's try another one. God, I know. Sometimes math just everyone just makes me crazy. All right. So, let me do this way. So let's say that this is 2x minus 1. I think you can see that. There's a 1 there. And this is 3x plus 2. All right. Now, Ghost, I need for you to come up with a new question. Every time you come in here, you always ask the same blessed question. Figure it out, dude. All right. Which book is on your storefront for the GED? I think all. For GED, it could be any of the Ultimate Math notebooks. If you're just doing just regular notebook, you can do that. So there was 3 different covers. There's this cover. There's this cover. And there's this cover. Okay? So it's like 3 different covers for right now. Okay? The first one. Yep. There you go. Just go ahead and order it. All right. Can't wait to go to the gym tonight. I think I'm going to pick up the whole freaking rack. Anyway, not a problem. Anytime. All right. So, here we go. Every time they give you something like this, unless they say what's the perimeter, that's when you add them all up. Okay? If they ever say, so I might as well do it both ways. So if they ever say what's the perimeter, that means whatever I got over here for the 2x minus 1, that's going to be the same over here. Whatever I get up here, which is the 3x plus 2, that's going to be the same down there. So you could basically rewrite and then add all your x's together, then add all your constants together. Okay? So that's one way of doing it. Or you can say, let me multiply this by 2, and then plus multiply this by 2. But no matter what, perimeter, rim, R-I-M, okay? It's the outsides, okay? You're adding up the sides when they say perimeter. But for us, right here, right now, let's work on that area. Okay, when we're working on the area, we got one side, which is 2x minus 1, and the other side, which is 3x plus 2. And I'm just going to do FOIL just to keep it simple. I could do box method. Trust me, I know there's so many different ways of doing this, guys. But I'm just trying to keep it simple so you don't have to memorize 60 million two things. A lot of you guys have this in your brain, but for some reason, you get one of those crazy teachers that think that they invented math, and then all of a sudden, they're just like, well, let me show you a different way. Let me show you a different way. Let me show you a different way. And then you're like, what was the first way? And you're completely lost. All right? So, for all those that want to put their 2 cents in everything, zip it. So, here we go. First term in first parenthesis. We're distributing to everything in the second parenthesis. Don't worry about the F, the O, the I, the L. Don't matter. Just take the first term and multiply it to everything in the second parenthesis. All right. There we go. So, 2x times 3x gives me 6x squared. All right? 6x squared. All right? Here we go. 2x times 2. 2x times 2, that gives me a positive 4x. Beautiful, right? Okay, why is this 6x squared? Not a problem. See here, you have an exponent that's a 1. See that 3x? That has an exponent that's 1. 1 plus 1 gives me 2. When you multiply, you add the exponents. Okay? Yes, there is. You know I'm going to have a library for you, big old Dan. Just sweetness right there. All right? Hey, go here. All right? Type in this. And you'll see a whole playlist. I think it's like 140 something videos right now. I know, I was pretty busy, right? Been doing this since February. And if you go there, you can get all of the plays except for the one I did this morning or this afternoon. For some reason, it didn't want to upload, but I'll have to figure that out. So I guess another late night for Audrey just to make sure everybody gets to see some of this free replay. Love ya. Mwah. On your bald heads. Okay. So, right. That's what I'm doing. Go ahead and do that. So why do we add the exponents? Because when you're dealing with multiplications, you always add the exponents. When you're adding and subtracting, you're just using the exponents to find your match. That is it. That is the rule. Succumb to it. Embrace it. Here we go. All right, so now we're going to distribute this -1 to everything in the second parenthesis. Anytime you're multiplying by a -1, you're basically changing the signs of everything. So -1 times 3x, that gives me a -3x. -1 times 2, that gives me a -2. All right. Okay. You want some more abstract reasoning? Google it. Go ahead. Because right now, I'm a little sick and tired. You keep poking the bear, I'm going to exit you. We used to be a zone of friendship, but now you're pushing the button. All right? So, here we go. Now, we have our 6x squared. But right here, smack in the middle, boom. Those are our like terms. We got 4x minus 3x. 4x minus 3x, that gives me 1x, or just x. We bring down our -2, and we bring down our 6x squared. And I forgot to bring down the plus sign with the x because it's a positive 1x, or a positive x. All right, There we go. That's it. Okay. Okay, Nike's not going to be negative x because remember, it's a positive 4 and a negative 3. That gives me a positive 1. All right. Awesome. There we go. I know. For my people that usually come on here and they are expecting a bubbly personality, I am so sorry, but I'm telling you, I'm at the point where I keep giving and I keep giving and I keep struggling and I keep seeing other people flourish. So I don't want you to struggle. That's why I came on. Okay? All right. Low elimination. Okay. That's awesome. Good. I understand. Awesome. Excellent teacher. Thank you, Charlie. Appreciate it. Death of me. No, it is. It really is. It's kind of like, hello, Reed. How are you? No problem. No problem. Okay? So that's the whole thing with adding, subtracting, and multiplying. When you multiply, you add your exponents. That's it. And this is algebra. Okay? Thank you. All right? I just wanted to be appreciated. And I just want to be, when you say you need assistance, I'm here. Now, here's another way of dealing with multiplication. All right? Keep on tapping because we definitely should be past 25K by now. Seriously. Let's go. Okay? just go on. All right. So Jaden never learned algebra. Ooh. It make sense. I've learned a lot from you. All right, Jay. You never learned algebra? Oh, okay. I got you. Reed, I don't even know anymore. I don't even know anymore. Thank you for the money gun. I appreciate that. Do I do statistics, Charlie? No, I do not. I do it to a point, and then, yeah, the rage comes out. So if you need help with statistics, definitely Robert, he should be floating in here somewhere. He does definitely with statistics and AP. So definitely check it out. That was a serious question. Yep. This is algebra. Yep. This is algebra. All right. Okay. Yeah, I know, right? Sorry about that. All right. So, yep, this is algebra. Now, here's another one. I'm going to start off small for right now. This is also a form of multiplication. Why is that? Why is this multiplication? You're welcome. Why is this multiplication? All right. Why is this considered multiplication? It's kind of weird. And if you're not sure, remember, question marks also counts as an answer. All right, so if you need anything, because it's squared, okay, because of the square. Good, Melody, thank you for your honesty. The difference of twos, yes, because it's a binomial. That is being squared. Is it because of the exponent? Yes. Okay, Rose or Rose, thank you for your honesty. There is squared. All right, so when you think of it, let me do a little side note. So if I said 4 squared. Now, 4 squared does not mean 4 times 2. Okay? No. Stop it. Just stop. Okay? When it's a small exponent, your 4, it's called the base. This base is multiplying to itself. And the exponent tells you how many times you're going to be multiplying that base. So we have a 4. And we are raising it to the second power. That means I'm multiplying that 4 2 times. Okay? So it's not 4 times 2. No, it's 4 times 4, which gives me 16. Didn't mean to insult your intelligence. I knew you already knew that answer, right? Okay. So now, just because it's not a number in an expression, okay, you're still doing the same exact thing. This exponent is telling you how many times we're going to multiply that base. And we're going to multiply it 2 times. Okay? All right, there we go. I'd like to hear that. Yes, I got it. Yes. So now, praise the Lord. Yes. Now, here we go. Right? We can do what we just did up here. We can do the full method. So let's do it. Let's take first term in the first parenthesis and multiply it to everything in the second parenthesis. All right? So m times m, that gives me m squared. Okay? M times m. Okay? Similar to 4 times 4. What? M times m? That means there's 2 m's that's involved. Now, m times negative 6, always put the number in front of the variable. So we have negative 6m. Now, we're going to do the exact same thing, but this time we're going to distribute not 6, but negative 6. Include the sign. So we're going to distribute that to everything in that second parenthesis. So negative 6 times m. That gives me negative 6m. You're like, but we have negative 6m again. We don't have to be stingy, just like the lights. You don't have to hold on to your lights. Go ahead and tap, right? It's free for right now. Give it some time, right? All right, so now we got negative 6 times negative 6. A negative times a negative gives me a positive. And 6 times 6, that's 36. All right, nice. Okay, thank you. Let's keep it going. So now, where are my like terms? Right smack in the middle. Okay, that's where your like terms are always going to be. All right, we can definitely do this. Hell, there's 334 of you. Let's go. So we have negative 6 minus 6. What would that give me? Negative 6 minus 6. What would that give me? Good, heart. Negative 12. Yes, negative 12. Negative 12. Look at all this. Make it rain. Yes. All right. So careful. Gojo. We're not multiplying these two. We're adding. After we distribute, multiplication is done. Now we're going to combine like terms. We're going to add them. Yes. Okay, you got the negative. There you go. I know I scared the negative out of you. There it is. So we have a negative 12m. After you do the distributive property, multiplication is done. This line you should be adding and subtracting. So basically right here is your like terms. Negative 6, negative 6. You owe me $6. For some sick and twisted reason, I loaned you $6 more. That means you owe me $12. Give me my money, okay? Don't make me break legs. Here we go. So now we're bringing down the plus 36. And we're bringing down our m squared. So m squared minus 12m plus 36. Hey, that is your final answer. Okay? Now, Is there a quicker way to do that? Yes. Would you like to see the quicker way? I'm not sure. Put in the chat. Put in the chat and tap it up. We should be able to get to at least 45. Okay, so I'm seeing some yeses. Of course. Let's go. Yes. Love it. All right. So chop it up to 45K and then we'll make this happen. While you're doing that, I'm afraid. Don't be afraid. I'm here to break things down, even though I'm losing my mind right now, but I'm here to break things down. Okay, so if you want to see it, I'll show you. Go ahead. All right. More word problems? Come to my tutoring session. I'll give you all the word problems you need, darling. That's it. Tap it up to 45. Let's go. Mad tap. I should see a rain of hearts. Well, thank you. This is what happens when a woman is on the verge of losing her flippin' mind. Do I have YouTube videos? Yes, I do, darling. Probably wasn't supposed to say that word, but yes, I do. Here you go. You come here, and you come here. Take a deep breath and slowly exhale. I don't think so, Michael. I think this is beyond breathing. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to pass out, but it's already hotter. I don't know what in this room, so we'll see. And that's another thing, just to make sure they don't have a glare. I'm sitting in a dark room with a light over me. like I'm getting operated on or something. It's just kind of crazy. But this is what I have to do. Wu-Tang tonight. Oh yeah. Yeah, we jam in my place. Basement energy. Telling you, definitely might be doing 225 tonight for my bench. Oh, Metallica? I always listen to Metallica. And then sometimes I'll listen to motivational speeches. Whew! That gets me riled up. All right. Okay. Almost there. Keep tapping. So yes, all my lives are there while you guys are still tapping. This is some of the stuff that I do. I have private tutoring. Now, this tutoring could be one-to-one and it also can be a small group. So if you're currently taking classes for college algebra and you know you and maybe 3 other people in your class is like, I have no idea what's going on. 1, stop saying that. 2, reach out to me. 3, let's get it done. Okay? Because you're basically learning a whole year of math in like 7 to maybe 12 weeks. Craziness. All right? But if you want any of these math notebooks, let me show you my wear. While we're getting close up to that 45K, let's get it going. So for my math notebooks, here I am taking lots of notes. Okay, there's a couple of things I want to skip over. Okay, so we've been doing a lot of factoring. Also gives you an opportunity to write down formulas, give you an opportunity to write down the steps, to break it all down. But let's say that, hey, you're struggling with some of the concepts. In the very back, I have factor sheets, okay, from 1 all the way to 200. Okay, then we have the rules of integers. I flashed that not too long ago. Felt like I was in New Orleans. Where's my beats? So then we got the reference pages. We got adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. These are the words that you commonly see in word problems for my word problem goddess not too long ago. Then we have order of operations, properties of exponents. If you can't remember the rules, look in the back of the notebook. Then we have our linear and our quadratics, as well as the properties of quadrilaterals. Then we have something for more advanced students. We got the volume and the surface area of the sectors, arc length, as well as area and perimeter. and circumference for the circle. And speaking of the circle, we got the unit circle. So for those people that are about to go into pre-calculus in less than a couple of months or less, depending on where you're at, yeah, get used to this bad boy because that's going to save your life sometime. As well as the Pythagorean theorem and the SOHCAHTOA. All right, so that is within my Ultimate Math Notebook. If you want to get your own copy, again, this is where you go. Bam, boom. You could go here, but I get 50 cents a book. Robbery! So when I come here, this is my own personal bookstore. So make sure you click or make sure you go. So you got math notebooks there. You got Audrey's notes. And Audrey's notes is all fun and good. If you just like say, you know what, Audrey, I like your notes. Well, then you can get your copy of Audrey's notes. And if you look, boom, look at all of this. You can get all the copies of all my notes for all my lives. At the end, you always see a little QR code. If you scan this QR code, it will take you directly to the live that's titled for these sheets. So you can get basically tutoring for hella cheap. It's me teaching you all this stuff. Oh, look at here. Look, don't say I didn't do this before. Boom. April 17th. Adding, subtracting, multiplying polynomials. What? Did I do that before? Yeah, I did. So, if you're interested in that, that's also... Now I forgot the paper. Here we go. That's also here available right there. Okay? Book 4 should be up and ready to go. Except for here, because they want to screw around. Anyway. Alright. Practice final today. Awesome, Nate! Look at that! See, Nate? I knew you can do it. Look at you, 97s. That's what I'm loving. All right, so you guys want the short version of it. Let's get it. Let's go. Let me use the same problem so we can use a comparison. So the quickest way to do it is you're going to take your first term and you're going to square it. You're going to take the combination of your first term, multiply it with your last term, and then multiply that bad boy by 2. That should just be a 6. Then you're going to take the last term and you're going to square that. So this is what happens. My m, I'm going to square it. That gives me m squared. No, it actually should be my negative. It should be my last term. Then we're going to take the first term, which is the m, the last term, which is the negative 6, and multiply that by 2. So we have 2 times negative 6, which gives me a negative 12. And we're multiplying by m. Then we'll take the last term. The last term is a negative 6. We're going to square that. Negative 6 squared, negative times a negative gives me a positive. 6 times 6 gives me 36. Notice, you get the same answer. All right. All right. Thank you so much for the follows. All right. So I'll do it again. Ready? So if I do, let me do a different one. So I got my b minus 8, and I'm going to square it. So instead of me putting into 2 separate parentheses, this is what you're going to do. You're going to take your first term, and you're going to square it. So that's b squared. You're going to take both terms, multiply them, and then times it by 2. So negative 8 times 2 gives me negative 16b. Then you're going to take your last term, which is the negative 8, and you're going to square that. So a negative times a negative gives me a positive, and 8 times 8 gives me 64. Okay. Yep, the second one is shorter. Hence, shortcut. Hard stop. Brain doesn't like that way. Okay, not a problem. But see, here's my thing. At least you're given an option. Right? Is this factoring? No, factoring is when you're doing the other way around. Factoring is when you get this, and then you have to break it down to get this. Okay? All right? All right? So let me try another one. So if I have a plus 7 squared, okay? Now, I want you to try it, okay? If you pick whatever way you want to pick, do it. I want you to answer it. All right? So I'm going to sit here. I love the over the 51.5K. I love it. Keep it moving, keep it going, keep it growing. Because negative 8 times 2, when the signs are different, your answer is always negative. Okay? You're not multiplying by a negative 2, you're multiplying by a positive 2. That's for Oakley. Not a problem. Okay, don't forget your squares and don't forget your variables, because I'm seeing some funky answers. Take your time with it. Don't let my aggression throw you off from your learning. Take your time with it. Because I know the hard part is going to be the middle section. That's the toughest part. Everybody always gets the ends, but they forget about that middle piece. Okay? Good majority are getting it now. Good. Good. All right. Nice. Close read. It's just the signage, the negative sign for the 14. Because we got a positive 7 here. There you go. There it is. All right. So, when you see something like this, we're going to square the first term. That gives me a squared. We're going to multiply these two and then times that by 2. Or multiply these two and then times by 2. So 7 times 2, that gives me 14, a positive 14, and bring down its a. Then you want to square the last term. So 7 squared, that gives me a positive 49. Okay? All right. So, just like a lot of things, we all didn't come out the womb loving Brussels sprouts. It's not until they started doing the glaze and they did all stuff and they smashed it down a little bit and it got extra crispy and now it's not mushy in your mouth. You kind of like Brussels sprouts. So it takes you some time. Marinate your meats. Stop just, yeah, let me throw it in the pan. No, let it marinate. Okay? Excellent job. There you go, Nike. I know. Whatever way that suits you. Yonda, good. Excellent. There you go. Jason, love it. All right, Reed, love it. Carol, love it. Okay? 100K, let's go. Let's top it. Let's do it. Missed a step? Okay. Let me guess. It was probably in the middle step. Just want to say. Because that's the toughest part. Everyone always remembers the ends but forgets the middle. Yeah. Okay. All right. So this is what we do. We learn from it. We learn from it and we move on. Right? All right. Okay. Now, so we looked at multiplication. We looked at adding. We looked at subtracting. Now, let's get with dividing. This is when I need prayer. Here we go. We got this. See, we got this. We got this. So I'm just going to write continued. So when I see this later, I'll be like, what happened here? All right. Now, dividing. Like I mentioned earlier, we were programmed to know how to add because we have our natural numbers with our fingers. We know how to add. Okay? We even know how to multiply. We learned how to do that. We learned how to group things. Okay? Put all the red balls in this basket. That's grouping. Put all the blue balls in this basket. That's grouping. All right, how many balls are in this basket? How many balls in that basket? How many balls did we have together? That's multiplication. That's grouping. That's what we do. It's fast addition. We're trained for that. But anything that takes away, it's the cold crying baby type thing. You take the passy away, the baby loses its mind. Like life is over. Like really? Calm it down. You know, how many times did you have to take the baby's blanket and wash it because this kid takes it everywhere, known to man, and be like, yeah, I want to sleep with it. Are you kidding me? But anyway, I digress. But now we're going to go into dividing polynomials. So I'm going to divide it with a monomial. I'm going to divide it with a binomial. And that's where we're stopping for tonight. All right? Now, when you multiply, you add the exponents. I know, well, I want to know why. Research it, okay? But when you're dividing, you're subtracting the exponents. Remember, you're taking away. When you're dividing, you're making things smaller. So you're subtracting. When you're subtracting, you're making things smaller. When you're multiplying, you're making things bigger. That's why you're adding the exponents. So, here we go. So we have 9n to the third plus n squared plus 3n divided by 9n squared. Okay. So it's almost like teach like this. We want to. Trust me. Every teacher wants to. Usually there's a few curse words and stuff. Usually when I'm in the classroom, this is high level. But this is on the verge of having a stroke. So this is why. All right. Now, when you are dividing, okay, when you're dividing, you're basically looking at the coefficients, okay, and you're simplifying the coefficients, but you are subtracting the exponents, okay? I know for a fact, when we look at this numerator, anytime you're doing any kind of dividing or whatever, always look to see if you have a GCF. Okay? Always look to see if you have a GCF. Do we have a GCF? GCF means greatest common factor. It could be a number, it could be a variable, it could be any of that. Do we have one? Okay? Careful. Won't be 3, because that works for this one and this one, but not this one. This one has a leading coefficient of 1. All right? Yes. I know. Our eyes quickly went to the 3s and 9s. That's how our brain is. But then all of a sudden we ignore certain things. Yes. So I'm starting to see N's. I'm starting to see N, C, N, C, N. Yes. C, N's. All right? So I'm going to take it over here. Yeah, we'll take it down here. So if anything, that numerator, we can pull out 1n. There's 3 n's here. There's 2 n's there. There's 1 n there. How many n's do they have in common? For those that may not know what I'm talking about, I'm just going to scratch that out. So if I have n cubed, that means n times n times n. N squared, that means n times n. And then you have 1n. So they all have at least one group of n's in common. And I mentioned this yesterday. For those that weren't here, shame on you. You should know about me by now. That means we don't always go for the one with the lowest exponent. If all of them have n's, that's your lowest exponent. So now we're going to factor out that n. That means 9n cubed. That means we had 3 n's there. We snatched one of those n's out. So that means we have 2 n's left. Now, plus n squared. There was 2 n's there. We took 1 out. That means we have 1 n left over. 3n. We took 1 out. So that means we have a plus 3 left over. And all of this over 9n squared. Okay. All right, why am I seeing some 6s? I'm getting kind of scared. Okay, I'm seeing some 3s. All right, there we go. Okay, so we got our 1n, then we got our 3s, we got this. Are we good now? All right, so now, since we have an n out here, we can divide it with this n right here. Okay, up top here, we got multiplication. I know right away everybody's like, oh, I can cancel out this 9n squared with this 9n squared. No, you cannot. Do not retract that thought. The reason why this 9n squared is involved with these people, this is their happy little home. Here you go, trying to be that little side chick, try to break everything up. Back up, Becky. Okay, leave this family alone. But single hobo right here, he's looking like a snack for you. All right, so we can actually do a little bit of division right here. So when we do that, there's 1 n up here. There's 2 n's down here. You can cancel out one of your n's. All right. So, math is scary for you? Hopefully, I'll be able to break some of this stuff down. So now you're probably thinking, okay, Audrey, well, can we, since we cancel that n out, well, can we do something with this? No, you cannot. This, as sick as may sound, is close to being your final answer, unless you want to do this. Sorry, wrong pen. So here I would have 9n squared plus n plus 3. So if you're dividing, you can divide everything by 9n. See how interesting this is getting? That means we're going to have some fractions. Yup. We could have some fractions. But then, that's why I said it'll be so much better if you just left it like this. And I'm going to tell you right here and right now, GED is not going to get this deep. Nope. ASVAB, sure as hell ain't going to get this deep. Okay? The deep that ASVAB will get is volume, system of equations, graphing in linear equation, evaluating, and dealing with function notation. That's deep. Like if you start seeing, find the volume of, and it's like has two shapes. It has like a semicircle and a cone. That means you're in the 70s. You're in the 70s up there, right? But if you're seeing something like what's the equation line, if you're seeing something like system of equations, you're like in the 40s and 50s. And you can definitely get some decent jobs in 40s and 50s. Because the minimum, roughly, depending on what branch, is roughly around 31. Okay? But if right now you're rocking a 2, let's go. Hire me for a tutor. Let's go. Because they're not going to give you extra assistance other than for you to go buy a book. And then you look at the answer key in the back of the book thinking, oh, I got the answers right here. But if you don't know what the answers mean, what's the point? All right? So get someone that can translate it for you. T's, yep, especially for the algebra piece, yep. For the algebra piece, yes, you're going to have a lot of statistics. You're going to have a lot of multi-step equations. I'm also seeing a lot of data analysis, and I saw systems on there as well. So, yeah, get the crack-a-lackin'. Let's go. All right. We only have that to bend this. Yes, we can. I'm very smart. I don't know. More like a smart butt, but you know. But seriously, a lot of people would take this to a step further, and then they'll say, okay, well, my 9 and my n, so I got an n left. But then over here, my n's will cancel out, so then I will have like plus 1/9. You see how nasty this is? It's just, it's not even Janet Jackson nasty. Like, this is just, ugh. And then 3/9, that gives you like 1/3n. They're not getting this deep, y'all. They're not. They're not. They're keeping their answer right here. They're keeping their answer right there just by factoring out. Yup. All right. Yup, exactly, Robert. Exactly. All right. All right, we can do it. All right, we can do it. Yes, we can. Go ahead, tap it, people. Y'all the ones that make it happen. There's over 210 of us here. So you're like, well, Audrey, can we do one that it will actually work for us? Of course I can. Let's see. Let's get up to 75. I'll set it up. Let's get to the 75 mark. Let's mad tap. Am I asking you to have corporal tunnel? What's a little pain amongst friends, right? Oh, man. Oh, wait, this is a 5. I can't even see my own numbers. I'm starting to see double. Yeah, we've done this before. I feel like I'm about to be like one of those Pokemon characters in a second. Rage. All right. 9R. All right. Awesome. All right. Those fractions are trash. Yep, they are. Burn it. Take it back to the depths of hell, which it came. Praise be. Is this Arabic? No. It's actual algebra, but you know. Yes. It's like you share a piece of bread with others. Here we are. Okay. All right. So let's get this done. Okay, so we have 18R to the 5th. There we go. plus 36r to the fourth plus 27r to the third. Now, what do you notice? True. So 2 times 9 is 18. Yes, Sandra. Good. 4 times 9 is 36. Yes, Sandra. 3 times 9 is 27. Sandra's on the roll. Let's go, girl. So what happens? 9 goes into each. There you go, Candy. Yes. Way to set it up. Way to shut it down. That means right here for my numerator, what would be my GCF? What's the whole GCF? So right now I'm hearing 9s, but 9 what? Yes, 9r squared. Woo, what? Squared? Take a look. I was like, wait, hold on. I know, I got excited, got too excited. Okay, cubed. There we go. There we go. All right, so if I factor out, just the numerator, if I factor out my 9r cubed, let's see what remains. So, just like what Sandra was saying, okay, we have 18. So 18 divided by 9 gives me 2. And I know a lot of us don't like division, so think of it this way. 9 times what gives me 18? That's 2. Okay, we have 3 r's here. We need 5. That means we're missing 2 r's. Okay, since you guys don't like the division, because when you divide, you're taking away from the baby. All right, so we have that 36. So 9 times what gives me 36? That gives me my positive 4. And if I have 3 r's here, but I need 4 r's together, that means I'm missing an r. And then we have a positive 27. So 9 times what gives me 27? That'll give me a 3. And we have 3 r's here, and we need 3 r's, so that means we don't have to add any more 3 r's there. All right? Nice. Okay. Put that all back over 9r. That was our original denominator. What can we do now? What can we do now? Nice, Kyle. Good. What can we do now? Yes, we can do some canceling. Canceling the 9 and the r. There we go. Yes. Okay. Are we simplifying this? Yes, we are. Canceling out stuff? Yes, we are. Okay. You got a positive 9 here. You got a positive 9 there. Let's cancel those bad boys out. Gone and gone. We have an r cubed here. We have an r there. If we're dividing, that means we're changing this 3 to a 2. And that r down there is gone. Yep, so it's an r squared. Yep. All right. So then since we did that, that means my answer is going to be r squared times 2r squared plus 4r plus 3. Now this is when I would look at my answer choices on my test to see if I have to distribute. Majority of the time I'm going to tell you this is going to be your answer. That's what they're going to mark it down as. I'll bet you cold hard cash. Okay, all $2 of it. All right. All right. Okay. I'm fighting the person who decided to put letters in the map. You can fight them all you want. But it makes you think, though. It makes you think. All right. Now, this is the way I want to flip to the other. Well, I could probably just squeeze it on this side. Now, that's with a monomial. Okay, monomials, when you're dividing with a monomial, let me spell it. Monomial. Mon, one. Okay, a mon, one. Okay, I'm weak. All right, this is what we do. Okay, there's one term down here. I better stop messing up my ancestors. Okay, up here we had 1, 2, 3 terms. Okay, that's a trinomial. But when you're dividing by a monomial, that's basically what you're doing. One, you can factor out what you can, but you're basically dividing every term by whatever's in your denominator. Now, what happens if you have this craziness? So if I said, I don't think I want to go that far yet. So m cubed plus m squared minus 36m plus 42. And you're going to divide that. What? We're going to divide this. Let me do a little shrinkage. Divided by m plus 7. And you're probably saying a few choice words, maybe not Christ-like, but here we are, because I'm always saying them. When you're doing dividing polynomials, okay, you can listen and tap at the same time. Trust me, your finger ain't broke. Let's go. There's 248 of you. We got this. We can get that 100K. Not a problem. I should be seeing a C. There we go. Keep it going. You guys got it. Trust me. You're not paying for it. It's fine. Just helping me to get to the FYP. Okay? Tutoring at home in the 90s, my grade wouldn't be 10 points better. Yep. It's called tough love because now I'm just like, screw it. We tried the whole kind way. It's time for me to be back to Miss Codner way. Now, when we're doing this, we can do division multiple ways. I'm going to show you the long division. Last time I showed you guys synthetic division. That can work for this because my divisor, okay, when I'm using the divide, the leading coefficient is 1. So I could do synthetic division with this. But when I was doing synthetic division, so all these people say, how do you do long division? I'm stuck. How do you do long division? So I'm going to do long division tonight. I know. You're probably like, but there's a shorter way. I know this. But we're going to do long division tonight. If you don't like it, step. Go kick rocks. That's what I'm doing. Long division. So this is what's happening. Some of you guys haven't seen division in forever. You don't even know what this symbol is right here. You're like, what is that? That is the long division symbol. 1. Before I put anything underneath this division sign, I make sure that all my degrees are being represented. So if the highest degree is to the 3rd power, the next one should be to the 2nd power, then to the 1st power, then my constant. Okay? The one that doesn't have a variable. So right now, everything is being represented. So I'm going to put it down here. I got my m to the 3rd plus my m squared minus 36m plus 42. What goes outside my division sign is the divisor. So what goes underneath is called the dividend. All right? The dividend and my divisor. Now, this is going to blow your mind. So here's my suggestion. Don't write a blessed thing. Okay? Just pretend you're in the movies. Straight chill. Okay? Straight chill. Just watch and absorb. Okay? I don't want anybody like, oh, I think the answer is... Just watch. Now, This is when knowing the rules of integers and your multiplication is going to pay off. If you suck at multiplication, either you're buying my book so you can go with the factor sheet and get used to your multiplication, all right? Or you're going to make yourself lovely index cards. As soon as I can find mine, okay? Go to anywhere where you can get some cheap index cards. It doesn't matter if it's lined or not. You're going to put problems on the front and you put the answer to the back. If you want to treat it almost like a memory game, and then you put like almost like a tent type of thing, and you can just put the problem here, and then you're just like put it like little tents, and you're like, the problem is like -8. That'll be -4 and 2. Oh, it is. Yay! Okay, whatever floats your boat and entertain. But you can't rely on the calculator. Stop it. Okay? Anyway, getting off my soapbox. So now we have to start this off somewhere. We have to think, how many m's times m will give me m to the third? Okay, since you guys don't like doing division, because if you did like doing division, I would just subtract. My m to the third minus my m will give me my m squared. So I gotta ask myself, what times m will give me m to the third? So m squared times m, because 2 plus 1 gives me 3. So notice I line it up with the other m squares. We always got to do things in lines. All right? So now that I know that this is going to be my m to the third, I rewrite it underneath. Then I'm going to use my m squared, and I'm going to multiply it to my 7. So 7 times m squared, that gives me a positive 7m squared. Now, just like we did long division back since we were playing with glue, hopefully that wasn't last week, but here we are, we're going to subtract the next line. So what happens? The m to the third minus the m to the third will cancel out. Now we have 1m squared minus 7m squared. 1 minus 7, that gives me a -6. And I bring down my m squared. Right? Now, we're going to do the process again. So we're saying, what times m will give me -6m squared? Well, -6m. Because -6m times m will give me -6m squared. So now we're going to use my -6m, and I'm going to multiply it to my positive 7. So a negative times a positive will give me a negative. And I know I got to bring the other one down. Don't worry, I'm coming to it. So a -42m. Okay? Just like with division, which I forgot because I'm insane right now, I had to bring down the next term. But guess what? I'm still subtracting. Because when you minus a negative, it turns positive. So that means this negative 6m squared and this now positive 6m squared cancel each other out. So since we are still subtracting, okay, that's why I don't like to cancel this part. We're still subtracting. So that means we have a negative 36, not minus 42, but plus 42. Okay, the signs are opposite. So this gives me a positive 6m. Okay, it's those signs. And I know you're probably like, oh God, those integers. Yeah, there's a difference between making money and losing money. So we definitely need to get those integers underway. Okay, there's a huge difference between making and losing money. So think of it that way. So that's why it's so important to understand integers. So now we see this plus 42. That's coming on down. So I brought my plus 42. Okay. So now we're doing the process again. So we're thinking, what times m gives me 6m? Well, that's a plus 6. So that will give me my 6m. And now I got my 6 plus 7. So 6 plus 7, that gives me a positive 42. And we're still subtracting. So now we have 6 minus 6m, that's gone. And 4 minus 42, that's gone. That gives me a 0. Well, thank goodness for that, because I don't have anything else to bring down. And that means I don't have a remainder. Remember remainders back in the day when it was a big capital R? Yeah, I know that looks like a row, but it's not row. Okay? So this is my remainder. All right? So my answer, aka the quotient of all this, is what's up here. My m squared minus 6m plus 6. And you're probably like, is this going to be in the GED? There'll probably be one on there, maybe not as long, but there will be one on there. And there will be one, maybe two, on ASVAB as well. All right. Okay. All right. This is hard. And I'm not even going to lie to you. This is hard. Especially at 11:15 at night, p.m. Your brain's trying to tap out. Your brain's trying to give up. Oh, look at that. Over 100K. Thank you. All right. So, if you want, we can pause. Okay? Because a lot of you guys have been working hard. I mean, hell, you've been tapping all damn night. Right? So, why don't we, let's be realistic. Why don't we say for tomorrow night, for more fun and shenanigans called The Life of Audrey Codner. Let's see if God is like, no, God loves me. God's just like entertained by me. I swear. It's all the demons that's trying to get me. It's pissing me off. All right. Have my son start watching you for sure. To see the demise of this insane woman trying to stay. Okay, we have to do more of these in the beginning of class. Okay. All right, so tomorrow evening at 9:30. Now I'm here twice a day. Okay? Freaking insane. You know how much prep that is? Plus doing tutoring, plus trying to find motivational words to encourage people to hire me as a tutor and not waiting until their final exam, the 11th hour. I need help. I'm about to kill somebody. Stop. If you need assistance, you're currently going through college algebra, or if you have a child that has what's called summer reading, and they have to do a summer reading packet. Maybe they're starting high school, and all of a sudden, here comes that summer reading packet. It usually happens to come out of the hiding like a week or maybe 3 days before school starts. Can we do it a little sooner so you won't be in such a panic? Okay? So let's do that. All right? So, the K word? Can't say the K word. What's the K word? What's the K word? Oh, yeah. Sorry, Sacred. Didn't mean that. I know. But if they're going to shut me down, let's do it. Do I do online tutoring, V? Yes, I do. And I have openings. So for other people, so sorry. Okay, so if you do need some assistance with that, with the tutoring, please contact me. And you're probably like, how do I contact you? There's a link, okay? Follow the link. That's all I can say. The link that's in that profile. All right? Thank you so much for the follows. Thank you so much for the taps. I appreciate it. You missed adding and subtracting? Okay, so I'm going to have the replay for you. All right? Okay, all right. Yep, so I have tutoring. I have my math notebooks. I'm going to be up a little bit. Hopefully I'll be able to download my stuff. I was trying to download this morning, couldn't do that, or this afternoon. But I do have courses. So if you have time and you really want to go really slowly with the ASVAB, with the GED, really want to know and master it, I do have on-demand courses that you can sign up for. And what we can do is we'll meet once a week for roughly like a half an hour just to make sure that you're on the right path. Okay? That's it. All right. All right. Well, thank you for sharing lives. Thank you for being here. But I'm serious. If you need assistance, don't just sit in your hole, sitting here like, oh, I don't know. But if you're able to buy Starbucks every blessed day, you're able to get a tutor. Okay? Just have to drink homemade coffee for maybe a week. Maybe less, depending on pricing. All right? Wait till the last minute, expect me to get them from failing to A right before their final. Oh, I know. And just because you hire a tutor does not mean that you're automatically going to get an A. There were so many people I have to culture with that. So many. Okay? You still have to put the effort, but you're getting some resources. You're getting someone that's giving you an in. Just like how I like to show you a shortcut. Like, hey, this is how you can do multiplying, but here's a shortcut, or here's something that you can look at it that'll be good for you, because we all don't learn exactly the same. There's some of us that needs more time, just as much as they all want to put us in some kind of label like ADHD and all those things. But just because we have the same label of the disability does not mean that we do not have the same ability. Each person is different, and we have to recognize that. If we don't recognize that, so what are we doing? What is this thing called education then? What are we doing? All right, getting off soapbox again. Yep, I'm just their guide. That's it. And I was sick and twisted enough to go to college for this. My undergrad was psychology. The reason why I wanted to major in psychology because I was trying to figure myself out. I didn't know. You get so sick and tired of people telling you what you think your life should be, and then all of a sudden you're like, this doesn't feel right. Why doesn't it feel right? Because it's not really the life for you. And then here we are as adults trying to take a test, and they're telling us that we can't use a calculator, but for years they've been shoving this thing in our face. Yay. Okay. Are we good for Thursday? Yes. I think it was at 3:30 Eastern. I think we are. All right. Awesome. Okay, so Janice, I'm going to see you tomorrow evening. Robert, he's going to go live tomorrow afternoon. Okay? He was amazing today for his first one, having over 20K likes. That's freaking amazing. So for the most part, that's all right. What else? I'm gonna go lift half the freaking gym. See if I can calm myself down. Maybe even get into the massage chair in the back. See if I can beg and plead my way through. I'm like, sir, I need a massage chair. Let me get on that thing. My God. All right. You're doing trig tomorrow on your stream? Okay. Fabulous. All right. So tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to do something with factoring before quadratic equations. But then at 9:30, we're going to continue on doing long division with the polynomials. That's what we're going to do tomorrow night. Okay? Tell your friends. Tell everyone. And if you're currently taking a math class, I'm going to keep repeating it over and over again. Contact me. If you need a tutor for someone that's younger, still contact me. I have plenty of friends that tutor as well. So let me be your resource. All right? Jeez. Okay. Love you. Have a good one. Bye now.